Alright, so welcome guys. I'm going to be going through the any percent route for DK64, the one without DK Helm early, because that is a ridiculously hard trick. And ever since CFox made his video tutorial, a lot of new stuff has been found. So I decided to make this so like people new to DK64 speedrunning can kind of get into it. This route. And once again, it is not the fastest route. DK Helm early makes the route 9 to 10 minutes faster. However, this route is a lot easier for beginners to learn. So if you want to get into DK64 speedrunning, this is the route you should be doing first. Anyway, as you can see, I'm not going to be starting on this screen right here. I'm going to be starting in the mystery menu, and we're going to be doing a glitch called Funky Weapons Glitch. And before I start, actually, I do want to show that you want to turn Story Skip on. You can also choose what kind of camera you have. Basically, there's a free cam and a follow cam. Many DK64 speedrunners prefer free cam, which means you get to control the camera as free as you want with the C buttons. C left and C right. Follow cam means the camera will follow you at all times. There are a couple exceptions though. You can kind of get the same feeling as follow if you're just holding R for free cam. But generally, if you like having control of the camera, choose free cam. If you like the camera to follow you at all times, do follow cam. Cheats are going to be off for the runs, but I'm going to turn oranges cheats on because having limited oranges for tutorials sucks, and I'm going to be showing off a couple of orange clips, so having as many oranges as I possibly can is really good for the tutorial. However, this needs to be off during a real speedrun. Anyway, you want to have either 6 or 10 banana fairies unlocked. In fact, you should probably complete the game before. Yeah, just make sure you get 10 banana fairies before you do a speedrun of this. Anyway, the intro story is the glitch part of the menu, so we're going to be using this to get our guns, Simian Slam, and use of oranges right off the bat. So this is what the game's going to start out with. So basically, just play the intro story. And right when the blue showed up, you notice that I pressed A again right as the blue showed up. And now you can see that the music isn't playing anymore. The music not playing signifies that you activated the glitch correctly. However, you only have a limited time to do what you want in order to get Funky Weapons Glitch done correctly, so I'm going to just stop it and do it again. But basically, after you activate this glitch, it's either 45 or 50 seconds. You have to wait for a certain part of that. Well, basically, you're not really canceling out the intro story. It's playing in the background. You need to wait for a specific part of that intro story to be playing before you move on to the next part. And during that 45 to 50 seconds of when we're waiting for the intro story, we're going to be going into the main file and canceling out a text box. So why don't we do that right away? So immediately back out to the main menu. Spam A as fast as you can into the file. And once again, you have to be doing this stuff as fast as you can, otherwise you won't make it to the next part of this glitch within the 45 to 50 seconds. So once you get to this point, Squawks is going to talk to you. Just mash B, press start, quit out. Mash start to get past this scene. And you're going to be watching the intro to the game. Mash start. Mash start again. Press A, and then go mystery menu again. Go to right. Go into Jungle Boss. It'll kick you out. Go back to intro story. Go to Kong Battle. Press A. Start on the second player controller. Press A again. That'll kick you out. You want to press A. They'll get you back to this menu. Then B. B again. Go to mystery menu. And press A again. And mash A, and that will cancel it in a non-glitched part of the intro story. First thing you want to be doing is going over to Cranky's hut. Mash B to cancel the text, so he kicks you out right away. He will generate the training barrels for you. You have to do all 4 of them. All you have to do, just roll over to the training barrels and do this first one over here. Once again, if you guys have any questions in any part of the run where I'm at, just feel free to ask. Anyway, dive, hold A to swim fast, and just get the coin. You can get it in 50 seconds or 56 seconds. I'm just dumb and missed. Roll over the next barrel. Gonna pick up the oranges by rolling around the tree like so. See up and draw. Alright, so you saw me press A at a specific point after I was done with that training barrel. That'll allow you to jump out of the training barrel sometimes. Anyway, you can pull out your gun here and shoot all these targets. So that's because Funky Weapons Glitch allows us to have the gun. Okay, so what happened there was called a barrel jump. When the barrel floats at a specific point in the air and you press A right after you complete the training barrels you saw me do there, you can jump out of it. This is just the coin grabbing one. Just complete it as fast as you can. And because I got that barrel jump, I'm able to begin right on the ground instead of falling out of the training barrel. That saves a couple seconds. Now what you're going to want to do is come over here. And you're going to kind of want to align yourself, kind of face slightly to the right. And what you're going to do here is we're going to do swim through walls. So all you have to do for this glitch is just be swimming, going to see up again, and you're through the wall. And you just swim straight forward, and you'll hit the loading zone, and you'll just magically warp out. Zooming in and throwing oranges. Oh, for the orange barrel, basically I did that because you want to throw them at the tree, and the 3 makes them all blow up right away. What's the intro sequence for? That's just for getting the funky weapons. I'll be doing it again for No Levels Early as well, so if you missed it, you can see it there. But anyway, let me just move back out again. I'll show the trick one more time, I guess. Icy Wind, you need to turn off the, well, sorry, you have to turn on Story Skip in the options menu. Okay, anyway, I don't want to do this again because people do definitely want to see this again. Basically, have a slight angle to the right. Now, once you're through, if you look up, you can kind of see the water is kind of like angled. You kind of want to aim this way. It's kind of in a V shape, and you want to aim kind of like right here when you go through this wall, because that's where the loading zone is for leaving. There you go. You can actually miss that. Let me see what let me show you what happens if you actually miss that. DK64 definitely is not as big as Ocarina of Time, but there is a decent amount of dedicated players. Okay, so you go through here, and let's just say, oh, you aim way over to the left. Oh no, I missed it. And you notice you kind of appear pretty much right next to the gate. So all you would have to do, just in case you do miss it, just swim over and jump in. Anyway, let's continue on. So you want to hold kind of a down right here. You only want to hit warp 5. We only need warp 5 for now. Once you hit that, we're going to roll over to K Lumsy. You want to dive with Z, swim, hold A, which is the fastest swim moving. Jump up here, you're going to tag warp 1, and then roll in. And then this is one of the longer cutscenes in the game. You're going to be talking to K Lumsy. He's going to open Jungle Japes for us. You can actually glitch into Jungle Japes without watching this cutscene, but that's a little too difficult and the time save isn't very big, so I will not be showing that off. The next trick I'm going to do is unfortunately probably the hardest trick in the run. It's pretty early though, so even if you aren't getting it quick, you don't really waste that much time. So you're going to want to do roll this way. And you can kind of see this box here. We're going to be doing a moon kick with a low ceiling. Basically, the mechanics with moon kicks, you can do them off 3 different things. You can do them off a low ceiling. You can also do it on a slope, and you can do it off a ledge. You don't do any... I won't be showing off any ledge moon kicks in this tutorial, but we will be doing a low ceiling moon kick and a slope moon kick. Anyway, this box here is kind of glitched. If you roll into it, eventually you'll roll in. So now you notice that I'm in this box. And it has a low ceiling, so we can use this to moon kick ourselves into up to Frantic Factory. We won't actually be going in, we just needed to tag warp 4. And all you have to do to get a moon kick, when you're inside the box, you need to be running, jump, and then you only need to hit B twice, which is what I do. But if it's easier for you, you can mash B and you'll get the same result generally. Let me show this out again, because this is definitely the hardest trick in the run. Additionally, every time, you won't get in the box every time. So as you can see there, it took me 3 or 4 tries to get in. So once you're in, once again, you want to come out this side because it's the closest to the ledge there. So when you're in, hold right, jump, and then B twice, or just mash B, whatever you prefer. And it's really that simple, but it takes a lot of practice to get this trick cut down pretty well. And obviously you want to do that in one smooth motion. I've been doing it in 2 parts just to show it off. Oops. Rolled in a little too far. Oops. Okay, sometimes you can jump out of the box even if you're under the ceiling, so that was kind of unfortunate. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with this. So yeah, you just kind of have to keep rolling at it, pray you get in, and then you can do the moon kick. As you can see, I kind of stopped myself with a jump before attempting the moon kick. Alright. So that's how I do that moon kick there. So next, we're going to go up here to Frantic Factory. Oops, don't take out your gun. We're going to be rolling up here. We're not going to be going inside Frantic Factory. We're just going up here to tag warp 4. This saves some travel time later on in the game. So all you would just want to do is roll up. Roll up. Hopefully that guy doesn't kill you. That guy has knocked me off sometimes. Alright, tag warp 4. And that's all we need to be up here for. So the next place we want to go is Banana Ferry Island over there. And the best way to kind of get to it, you just kind of want to do a kick off the ledge and just kind of let DK fall into the water. Dive immediately because underwater swimming is the fastest swimming movement. And you're going to surface right before you hit the island right here. So at this point, we're going to be doing a glitch called Swim Through Shores. This glitch really, well, it does work with all the versions, but it's way, way easier to do it on the US version. So basically what you want to do, come up to the shore, dive, hold up, and mash B. And once you're inside of it, you can just swim up, And notice how I am inside the Fairyhead Island now. The loading zone is kind of small. It's right at the front. So like if you jump in the back of it like I did right here, you won't actually get into it. So I have to make my way toward that loading zone. You can kind of see I'm getting pushed back if I just walk toward it. So to compensate for that, you have to jump if you land in the back. And as you can see, I missed it there. Why don't I show it off again? So dive close to the shore, mash B, and once you're through, you can just swim up. Alright, so as you can see, the camera gets a little wonky there, so if you get a good camera angle like this one, you can just swim close to the front and jump up. I missed it there again too, but I was probably a little close, honestly. So once again, Z, hold up, mash through, swim up. Okay. And just jump up and into the loading zone. Then talk to the Banana Fairy. This is for the power-up slam move right here. This is useful for getting rainbow coins. That's really the only reason why we're in here. The fairy camera, we don't really use it except for like aligning yourself up for some later tricks. Hey everyone, I'm glad you're enjoying the tutorial so far. I do want to show off jumping into the Fairyhead Island one more time. So you can see I'm like right about here. You want to jump up and into the entrance loading zone, which again is at the front of this like hallway right here. So yeah, just up and in. One thing I do want to mention, this door is kind of tricky to leave. Sometimes it'll stop you, other times you can just walk through it. So as you can see there, I can't walk through it right now. So you kind of have to like wiggle DK through. Alright, so next thing you want to do, we're going to roll to the left and grab these 2 crystal coconuts right here. We tagged warp 5 earlier, so we can take this back. Hold down right, spin your camera around, we're going to roll this way. Odd trick to get from this angle, so I will show it off from a better angle first. So there's a glitch where you can skip the banana dance cutscene every time you grab a golden banana. The loading zone is right next to the golden banana here, so if you hit both of the golden banana and the loading zone at the same time, you can skip the banana dance cutscene and go straight in. So hopefully I can get that aligned correctly here. There we go, just like that. Once you're in here, roll once, kick, roll to this guy, and you're in. Okay, so this next trick is a relatively recent find. It's called Bush Push. Basically, this is going to allow us to skip opening that gate over there, and it's going to also allow us to skip a cutscene. The cutscene where it shows Diddy in his cage. So what you want to do, well, from the start, you're going to want to roll over here, flip your camera around, set your face in the DK portal again, and you're going to want to have this bush right here push you into the wall. You kind of have to walk a little faster than that. So once you're kind of in the wall here, hold Z, face down right, and then just rotate your way in. And I didn't get it there. There you go. And it's easy as that. What's the estimated time for 100% runs? Generally, if it's your first time, usually between an hour and an hour 20 minutes. If you've been practicing the tricks, that's usually good for a first run. For getting the run down a couple of times, between 50 minutes and an hour. And this route will generally get you as low, well, it could potentially get you as low as 42 minutes if you really wanted to push it that far, but it's not a good idea if you want to do the faster route if you actually are that good, which is DK Helm early. But anyway, once again, have this push you in. You kind of have to eyeball it there's not really a set amount of, well, a set amount of DK that actually clips in the wall before you can know it works, but again, face down and just rotate in. It's pretty obvious that you're like too far out. Like even this might actually make it. No, that won't make it. But you could obviously tell you were too far out here, and this is a little not. It's just not in and out. Basically, just walk a little bit forward. If DK kind of like moves down a bit when you crouch and move to the bottom right, it's basically a guaranteed in. So once again, rotate up and you're through. If you're confused on how I'm actually getting through, just watch my controller cam. Alright, that's the wrong way to spin. There are a couple different ways to do this trick, but I find this way is the most consistent by far. As you can see, I'm getting it nearly every time. It's a very easy trick that you should pretty much get 100% of the time. And if you don't get it, your setup is bad. Like, you can every time here, it's really that easy of a trick. Yeah, it's basically a rotate counterclockwise. It's more of a push up and then rotate counterclockwise, or push upright and then rotate counterclockwise. You don't want to like start from where DK is facing now at the bottom right. You want to kind of start pushing upright like that. So push the controller stick upright and then rotate counterclockwise in. And now obviously I'm rotating the wrong way, so it's not going to work. Alright, so on to the next step. Now that you're out of bounds, you want to be extremely careful, because if you walk a little bit far to the left here, you're just going to void out. So you need to be extremely careful when you're walking out of bounds in this area. So once again, push through. You want to stay close to the out of bounds boundary, but you don't want to go back in, obviously. So you're going to want to walk over here and kind of get a good look at this angle that I'm at right now. The portal is right there, so you kind of want to align yourself so you're facing this way. And then you want to roll once, and then after you roll once, you want to kind of roll to the left every single roll, and that will get you into this next area. And that's how you skip the gate and the Diddy cutscene. For the next part, you're going to go on and climb this tree. This is also another moderately tricky thing, but it's pretty easy to get once you know how to do it. I didn't mention this before, but lag is very powerful in this game. This game has a unique mechanic where it speeds up your character the laggier the game gets, so it doesn't actually look like your character is moving faster, but to the game, your character is moving really, really fast because the game is lagging so much, it speeds your character up. So, if you've ever watched DK64 speedruns, oranges increase the lag a lot in the game. Let me go down here and show you an example. I'll get this guy out of the way. Okay, that was silly. So there's this ledge here. You normally can't get up it by walking. It just lets you slide down. This isn't actually in the route, it's just an example, by the way. And if I try to kick jump up, I'm not gonna make it. However, if you throw oranges and you kick jump up, well, I didn't make it that time, but look how much higher I got compared to not throwing the oranges at all. Like, it's so ridiculous how much further the orange leg pushes you off. I'm not sure why I'm not getting up here. That was a little early. But yeah, anyway. Okay. I guess that shows off the power of orange leg anyway. But anyway, back to this trick. Want to have your camera zoomed out as far as you can go. The camera has 3 stages of zoom in this game. You control it with C up. So this is the closest state, and if you zoom out twice more, you have the furthest state. Water is another thing in this game that creates a lot of lag, so you can use that to make your character go a lot further than usual. And what we're going to do, we're going to try to get to that ledge right there without falling off. So basically all you want to do is do his running B attack, jump in midair, and then do one more midair B attack, and you'll make it to the ledge. This is kind of a difficult trick to understand at first because you really need to have really good timing with your kicks. So once again, you want to be doing DK's running attack. Hold A, and make sure you're holding A when he's doing his jump. You don't want to hold it when you do the B attack, but by holding A when you jump, instead of just doing this, DK jumps a lot higher, as you can see right there. So that's just like a normal jump. If you jump and hold A, he jumps way higher. So that's the importance of holding A when you're doing this jump. So kick, hold A, jump, and then B. And if you mash B, when you hit the slope, you will just kind of slide up like I did there, even if you're low. My first kick was high enough where I didn't even need to do that, but my second kick was kind of low. And yeah, you can kind of see that you can slide up even if you're short. Oops. Alright, so that's enough of that. Anyway, roll into this barrel. And roll toward the golden banana. Once again, if you have any questions about the run, I will answer it for you to the best of my ability. So anyway, you roll into the golden banana, the switches appear, and then we want to hit all three of those switches in the fastest way possible. So what we're going to want to do, since we now have sniper scope, we can hit them all from a pretty good distance. So what you want to do, flip your camera so you're facing this way. We're going to kick jump. You can't really see it from here, but just to the right of that spinning floating vine right there is the tree we want to land on. So what we want to do, kick off, then jump before you go into DK's falling animation, and then B one more time, and you'll land on this tree. And you want to be pressing A early enough so you don't activate DK's falling animation. So why don't I show that off too? So this is the wrong way to go out. You don't want to wait and hold A, because DK will just fall and he'll splat on the ground just like this. Oops. That was a mistake. This will be archived, yes, it's also getting posted on YouTube. You can fight K. Rool without all the characters because even if you don't unlock a character in K. Rool, they will automatically spawn them for you anyway. Alright, I'll be sure to do that. How to recover from a mistake, that's a good idea. So, there hasn't been really a chance to do that yet, though. So basically, again, face that mountain here. There's kind of like the edge of the seam right here, kind of a corner. It's very faint, but you want to kick just to the left. Kick off just to the left of it. Then right when the tree appears, jump, and then press B, and you'll land on the tree. And then what we want to do is kick jump over to this dirt patch over there, and that will allow us to get a golden banana, or a rainbow coin, not a golden banana. So some people like to, once they get down here, they have this camera angle, but personally, I think it's a lot easier for beginners to flip their camera to the left twice. You can't do this if you're doing follow cam, by the way, but what happened here? Anyway, yeah, you'll get this camera roughly. Flip it until there's a bunch of water on the screen. So now this water is going to lag assist you to the rainbow coin, and you'll hit it every time. So let's jump, or kick, jump, mid-air attack, and you'll make it to the coin. And I'll show the other way. Alright, so this is roughly the camera angle you'll be at when you're landing. Some people like to do this. However, there's no lag assistance, so you might not make it like I did there. If you don't make it, there are two options. You can just run back to this tree, climb it, and then do the techniques I did. You can also orange leg yourself up this tree. Or this slope. Just like that. However, that's not recommended because you're going to be wasting oranges, and you really, really need as many oranges as you can spare in this run. It's very easy to run out of oranges, so I don't recommend that. So, personally, I think you should climb up the tree if you miss it. Angle your camera so it faces the water, and then just kick, jump, mid-air attack, and you'll land on this. And actually, one thing I should have mentioned, for your mid-air attack, you should be holding that B. So hold it, and it'll start activating the charge-up move, and then release B on the dirt patch, and you'll end up getting the rainbow coin. And actually, I forgot to do something here. Once you grab the rainbow coin, you want to kick off during the text, and that'll save a couple seconds. So after you grab the rainbow coin, you want to kick down here, take out your gun, and now you can notice that I have sniper scope. That's from the funky weapons glitch I did at the beginning. So all you really have to do is fire 2 shots. The reason for firing 2 shots is because these switches are very poor. And by firing 2 shots at slightly different angles, you can almost guarantee yourself that you can hit the switch. So then the next 2 switches we can hit from this angle right here. You don't really want to go past this tag barrel though. Probably right where about I'm standing, because otherwise you'll get something called Diddy block, which means you activated this switch and this switch too quickly, and Diddy won't actually be free. So it's not a good idea to really walk any further past the barrel than I already am right now. So basically, take your gun out. You can kind of zoom in here to get the switch to load. Fire 2 shots, immediately go to the left. Take your time to aim, and then fire another shot. So as you can see, you barely have any time to fire off another shot. So yeah, that's how you hit both those switches, essentially at the same time. So it saves on some aiming and shooting time. So once Diddy Banana ports out, start exit level. And then exit the lobby. The next thing, we're going to be rolling counterclockwise around DK Island. Just kind of get everything out of the way. Gonna hit Warp 3. Alright, then from here, you can do 2 things. You can backflip these 2 ledges up. Or if you're at a really good distance away from it, you can actually kick, jump, and mid-air attack onto it, but of course I missed it there. And once again, this is a live recording, but I will be doing, or this is a live stream, but I will be archiving this and putting it on YouTube as well for anyone who missed stuff from the beginning. So anyway, there, oh, I thought I had it there, I guess not. So there we go. So maybe a little over halfway to the ledge, you want to kick, jump, mid-air attack, and you'll make it. You can't do it with the second part. You have to backflip. Climb up this tree. Alright, so actually I do want to explain that. So what I did there was called tree warp. If you just climb to the top of the tree, DK will just kind of climb through it and then jump out. However, if you jump right when you're about at this height, DK will just jump and appear right at the top of the tree. So that's a pretty neat time saver. Have the correct energy, just release B and you'll get the rainbow coin. Okay, so this next part, we're going to be going to Crystal Caves early. And the reason for this is because the game bases what upgrades you unlock based on the latest level you enter. So if you go to Crystal Caves, which is level 6, you can get every single move from Cranky in the game except Super Duper Simian Slam, which is obviously unlocked in Creepy Castle. And if you go to Angry Aztec, the game's like, oh, you were in Crystal Cave, so I can give you all these moves. So it's pretty convenient. So anyway, here's a slope right here. This slope's going to let us get into Crystal Caves early. We're going to be using a Moonkick off a slope, and if you were listening to the low ceiling Moonkick earlier, it's pretty much the same thing here. You want to have your camera angled like this because it's the easiest way to get the Moonkick if your camera is angled this way. So you want to be running up the slope and kind of halfway up it, jump, and then mash B, and you'll get up here. So once again, sometimes you won't get it because of the lag. So yeah, just jump, mash B, and you'll get your Moonkick. It's one of the easiest tricks in the game, really one of the coolest tricks ever, period. Alright, anyway, the correct method into getting to Crystal Caves early. Moonkick, kind of spin around, brush up against the boulder. Oh, I didn't get it there. Sometimes you won't grab the edge, it's kind of unfortunate. There you go. So you want to like Moonkick, or make sure your Moonkick kind of brushes up against a rock, going to the right, and DK will grab onto the ledge. And you want to move all the way to the left side of the ledge and pull yourself through, because the rock is solid around all the edges except for this very thin part right here. Once again. Yeah, and obviously if you pull yourself up here, you won't make it through. If mashing V isn't getting it, you're definitely doing something wrong. Make sure you're watching, like how I'm like controlling DK. Hold on. So yeah, once again, you want to make sure you're running. If you walk, you won't get it. You can see nothing will happen with the Moonkick. There you go. You don't want to brush to the left because you'll end up like flying off of the boulder and not being by the boulder at all. That's why I like swinging around, coming toward the left and then brushing off the boulder to the right. And you can see I brushed myself on the boulder, landed on the ledge, and pulled myself through. Alright, anyway, we're in Crystal Caves now. Roll over here, backflip onto this thing, backflip again, kind of angle yourself over to the walkway. Oops. And then backflip once again. And then we're going to roll over to B-Locker here. We need 65 bananas to get in there, but we really only need 2. And you can actually use this method to glitch past every B-Locker in the game except for Frantic Factory and Hideout Helm's B-Locker. So anyway, what we're going to want to do to skip this B-Locker, we're going to crouch, aim so DK's back is facing... Well, first of all, his hitbox... B-Locker's hitbox is really big. However, it's small enough where DK can sneak in and reach into the portal. And the hitbox on the back of DK is the smallest part of the B-Locker. And once you can't move anymore into B-Locker's hitbox, just do DK's ground attack, spin yourself around, and with his last part of his ground attack, he'll reach into the portal and pull himself in. And once you're in, start, exit level. That's the fastest way to leave. I'll show that off once again. Come over here. Make DK's back face the portal. Jump in until you can't move in any closer. Do DK's ground pound move. And with the last segment of it, he'll reach into the portal and you'll be in Crystal Caves. And the fastest way to leave is to pause exit. Right? That's all you need to do in Crystal Caves, so we can just leave this area. Alright, so from here, if we look to the left here, oh, you can't really see it. We're going to be making our way to that ledge there. That's the fastest way to Angry Aztec. If you kind of want to like angle yourself so you can see it, that's fine, but you can make it from right where you leave the Crystal Caves lobby. So all you have to do, hold right, kick, jump, attack, and you're onto here. Why do you need to enter Crystal Caves? It unlocks a bunch of upgrades that Cranky gives us. Anyway, we're gonna roll this way. And we're gonna be doing one of the more frustrating tricks in the game. This is Aztec early. I don't see that emote, Brad. But anyway, this trick, basically, we're going to be glitching past this wall here and into Angry Aztec. Actually, first, before I do that, because you can't actually leave the Angry Aztec lobby once you glitch in. If you try to leave Angry Aztec lobby, the door isn't removed, so DK will just endlessly walk into the door because the game thinks the door isn't actually there because you actually didn't go into Angry Aztec the correct way. So if you end up running out of oranges for this trick, you want to go this way. Make sure you take warp 2, of course, if this happens. Kick jump down to here. Oops. And take a picture of this fairy. This fairy will replenish all your oranges. And you'll have 20 again. You can keep trying the trick. I can see Lil Z, but I can't see anything else. Oh well. At least I know it went through. Alright, so normally you would just go warp up to Angry Aztec, but I'm dumb and didn't actually take warp 2. Alright, so come here, kind of want to angle DK's head slightly to the right of this vertical line right there. Crouch, angle to the left. You want to make sure you're entirely going to the left, not like kind of up or down like that. Now you're going to want to jump into the right wall and then ground pound to make sure your back's all the way against the wall. Just like that. Now now what you're going to do is take out your camera. I like to angle myself right about here. Kind of like right in the middle of that vertical line is where I like to throw my oranges. And put your camera away, and you're going to want to throw oranges in kind of a 1 and then 3 in quick succession fashion, so like this. And you're in. If you throw your oranges too slowly or too fast, you won't get in. That is a very precise clip. I will be sure to show that again, and potentially some backup strats too once I complete Angry Aztec, because once again, I cannot leave Angry Aztec. The game will soft lock if I do. So anyway, roll up to here. I don't have 5 gold bananas, we'll just do the same trick that I did in Angry Aztec. Sometimes DK won't get in the first time, so if you do it again without adjusting your position, you can reach in sometimes anyway. Hey guys, glad to see you joining in for the tutorial. Anyway, roll. You don't need to tag warp 1. We're gonna roll over here. And right at kind of the edge of the screen, just kick and watch the llama cutscene. There are a couple of really nasty orange clips that save 8 to 10 seconds in this level, but I'm not going to show them for the purpose of this being a beginner tutorial. Anyway, once you watch that cutscene, you're going to want to make sure you tag warp 1, and then roll over to the Tiny Temple, which is where you free Tiny. And then you're going to go to this corner right here. And this trick is called Guitar Skip. And it's called guitar skip because there's a door out here that we're skipping, which we use Diddy's guitar to open. But obviously this way you won't have to get Diddy's guitar to open the door. And there's like a specific pixel or plane we can fall on to get ourselves out of bounds here. So how you want to do that is backflip, hold to the right, and that one backflip to the right will get us close enough to this wall on the right. Because you need to be pretty close to the wall on the right. So now at this point, you can backflip and slightly hold up on the control stick to inch yourself over until you find that specific pixel that will allow you to fall out of bounds. As you can see, I'm kind of flicking my control stick. A lot of Nintendo 64 control sticks are different. I don't think I got it. Nope. You want having a really tight control stick for this part of the glitch is really handy and really important because it's really hard. Okay, you saw what happened there? You can tell you're out of bounds when DK hits the ground and he slides to the left. That signifies that you're out of bounds. Yeah, this trick is a pain in the butt. You really have to grind it out if you want to get really good at it. You need to get used to how your control, or how loose or how tight your control stick is, to get a hang of how much force you want to put on your control stick every time to get in as quickly as possible. As you can see there, he'll slide to the left. He'll also face away from you when he falls through. So that's another way you can tell he's out of bounds. Once again, this is a really frustrating trick. It can take a while to get it the first time. So there's, again, the slide to the left. And also, if you try to backflip while you're out of bounds, he won't actually do the full backflip as well. So that's another way you can tell. I'll show it one more time. So backflip to the right, and then just backflip up until you're out of bounds. Okay, cool. So once you're out of bounds, you want to face the camera backwards while still staying out of bounds. Face this way. And for people who are on free cam, I like to hold R because the camera can get a little wonky here. Just hold R, roll 3 rolls, then hold upper left, or switch to an upper left angle and then roll forward, and then you're through to the inside area of Angry Aztec. So you want to kick through Snake Road here, into the tag barrel, tag DK, or Diddy, sorry, and then roll through, or roll into Cranky's, or I guess walk into Cranky's, I guess. Alright, if you notice at the beginning, I never actually bought Simian Slam, but he gives this potion to us anyway. When you're leaving, hold up and jump. As you can see, Diddy went right back in when you did that, when you hold up and jump after you leave. He kicks you out after getting Simian Slam because he assumes you've never been in a level before. So you have to walk back in, buy Chimpy Charge that frees Tiny, buy Rocket Barrel Boost, and that will allow us to fight K. Rool for Diddy's phase. You can actually skip getting Rocket Barrel Boost, but I don't recommend it. You will lose a run if you do that, so don't do that. I'll explain why once I get to the K. Rool fight, why you can skip that. But don't skip it if you're a beginner. Anyway, back into here, we're going to buy some upgrades for DK. Baboon Blast. We don't actually need it. Oh, wait a minute. You don't need DK upgrades. I'm stupid. This isn't no levels early. Okay, ignore these upgrades then. Don't buy DK upgrades. I was stuck on no levels early. Or I was in a no levels early mindset. Don't buy DK upgrades at all. However, for super new beginners, you might want to buy not Rocket Barrel Boost, but the first move that DK bought. that I conveniently can't remember the name of right now. Anyway, there is an orange cliff here that will allow us to get to Llama Temple immediately, but I'm not going to show that off. Anyway, we're going to go past Snake Road again. Yeah, don't buy DK's moves again. You can buy Baboon Blast off if you don't like this next trick, though. Alright, so normally, to get into Llama Temple, you need to do Baboon Blast Off, complete the course, free to Llama, and switches will appear. And that you can shoot that to get in here. However, a much faster way to do that is, you can see this is like a slope right here, so you can moon kick onto it. Let me just show you. So jump, kind of wait a bit, and then mash B, moon kick up to here onto this ledge. This ceiling here is really, really weak. So if you run into it, oops. If you kick into it like that, you can just fall right through it. And then walk into the loading zone right there. And let me show off that moon kicking, because that's an extremely difficult trick. So this moon kick, the less intense the slope is, I guess, the harder it is to get a moon kick off. The one by Crystal Caves is a very easy moon kick to get off because the slope's pretty big. But this one doesn't have nearly as big of an angle as the one by Crystal Caves, so it's a lot harder to get a moon kick off. So you're going to want to press A, and you need to wait a little bit before you mash B. You have to do it on a specific frame. Just like that. You don't want to mash B right away, because otherwise you'll never get it. You'll end up doing his mid-air attack too soon, and you'll never get a moon kick off. So once again, instead, jump, wait a bit, and then do it. And don't do a full jump either. Make sure you're doing a tap jump. Because once again, the tap jump, this jump, is different from a full jump. Like when you're holding A. And also make sure you're running and holding forward as well. There we go. So there's the moon kick. You can kind of slide off the ledge. It's pretty forgiving. Once again, if you kind of want to set up to get in every time, you can kind of angle yourself like this, run, and then kick in. Sometimes you won't get it. You want to make sure your kick starts on the slope. And once again, if you're having trouble with that, you can just do the Baboon Blast course. You want to make sure you have a full watermelon for this part. We're going to be freeing Lanky by rolling into the lava. So this one is very time sensitive, I want to say. So roll again into lava, dive immediately. Angle yourself slightly right. See up again, that will get you swimming through the wall. Make sure you're at one watermelon slice left. Want to jump up on the right side and grab the crystal coconut. That's important because you need one more crystal coconut. You need to get one more rainbow coin. Anyway, from this section, I'll be doing this part again, by the way, if you're moderately lost. Unfortunately, I can't really go out and do it again because I don't have the health to do so. Basically, you're facing the switch there on the same horizontal plane. You don't need to aim explicitly at it because DK faces the same way every time. So what you want to do, shoot, immediately run the lava. So Lanky is actually freed, the cage open, that signifies that you actually freed Lanky. However, we skipped the Lanky freeing cutscene. And let me show that off once again. Fortunately, I tagged Warp 2. You don't need to tag Warp 2 on your way to the Llama Temple, but it's pretty convenient if you accidentally die or something, I guess. So once again, roll over. Jump, wait a little bit, mash B. You're up here. Kick into the ceiling, and just fall in. And then kind of flip your camera around because the camera faces this way once you enter. So I like to hold R, go into here, dive as far as you can down, angle yourself slightly right, swim through, wait till you have one watermelon slice left, grab this crystal coconut, aim so that you're on the same vertical plane as the crystal coconut, fire, and then run the lava. And that's how you free Lanky. The next thing we're going to be doing is freeing Tiny, and obviously you need Diddy for that. Here's the last dirt patch. Do the charge up move. Grab the rainbow coin, jump in the tag barrel, and switch to Diddy. Oops. In order to get into Tiny's temple, shoot the switch and the door will open. I'm not going to be doing Helmerly in a tutorial now. Alright, so it shows Tiny that she's been freed. Or she needs to be freed. Instead of doing the ridiculously long pound the switch, come up here, play your instrument to unfreeze the ice, we are going to do something called a ledge clip. And basically, on every ledge in the game, there's a specific pixel thick plane that you can fall through out of bounds. And we can use either C up or Z to stop ourselves from moving to fall through that specific pixel. Because obviously you can see here I'm trying to just doing it. I'm trying to find it by jumping, and obviously I can't do that. So you kind of want to get an angle where you're slightly going to the left of the stair right here. Oops. You can use or get camera help by holding R to make sure the camera's aligned behind you. Okay, you can kind of see Diddy's left foot's like completely off the edge now. So what you want to do is inch forward. Little baby steps forward, and after each little baby step you want to C up. I missed it there. If you inch forward a little too much per step, you'll miss the out of bounds boundary like I did there. And I missed it again. So once again. Alright, when Diddy falls straight down like that, that's when you know he's got out of bounds. And when I mean baby steps for this part, you really want to take baby steps. Unless you're bold. Or you have a good feel of where the clip is. I like to align myself by like jumping a bit too. If you don't like your angle. You can see here Diddy's like foot is like way off the ledge. That means you're pretty close. So really small baby steps once you get that angle, I guess. Anyway, now that you're out of bounds, the camera's going crazy, but you want to find yourself... You want to make sure you're over at this part right here. By the ledge. So come from the ledge after coming out of bounds to this part right here, and what you're going to want to do is long jump. That is the fastest movement in the game. And you're going to end up by Tiny's room. And the first thing you want to do when you get to Tiny's room, backflip on this switch right here, and chimpy charge off the ledge. And that will hit the switch without hitting the switch over... Oops. Without hitting that switch over there by Tiny's cage. If you hit that switch over by Tiny's cage, it will raise platforms and a really long cutscene will play. And so in order to skip that, we hit a letter that isn't K at first. So G is the closest one to coming back into Tiny's room, so I hit that one. And that's why you do G-Kong, because the G actually activates the K, and then you can just backflip on top of these switches and chimpy charge them to activate them. So now that I did G, I can come over, finally do K. Come over here, backflip on top of the O. Make sure you're angling yourself off the ledge when you do a chimpy charge off of it. Okay, so this next part's important. Once I hit this G, Tiny will be freed. However, since I can't leave the Angry Aztec lobby, you have to reset your game console, and you can only do that. You're gonna want to do that at a specific point so that the game registers and saves that Tiny is actually free. So we're gonna hit this G right here. Do not skip this text. Wait till the third line appears. So right when that right showed up, hit your reset button on your console. So now you want to start through this stuff pretty quickly. Okay, don't go back into the adventure mode right away. Go to options, go to story skip, turn that on again, because you're going to be in for a big surprise if you forget to do that. You'll end up watching the Frantic Factory storyline. Anyway, you're going to be back here. Before I go to Frantic Factory, I do want to... Or I didn't tag Warp 2. Let me go back to the Aztec early thing, and I'll show off some other ways. I'll show off some other ways to do Aztec early, I guess. Oops. I need to turn unlimited oranges on anyway, so it's fine. Basically, once again, kind of line yourself up so that DK's head is on the line, or a little bit to the left of the line, or the vertical line. Crouch, hold left, jump, hold right, ground pound when he's all the way in the corner. Put the vertical line here, roughly in the middle of the camera's center. Take off the camera. And throw the oranges in a 1 and then 3 immediately after pattern, really quickly. And just like that, you're an Angry Aztec. And once again, I'll show you what happens when you try to leave. You can hear DK trying to walk out, but you can't because the door is in the way. So you're stuck like this forever. So reset.
Okay.
Okay, this next part is probably the most annoying part in the entire run. And you're going to find out why many DK64 speedrunners do not like Lanky at all. These are by far the most inconsistent tricks in the run, and they have ended so many good runs. So once again, make sure story skip's on. I'm going to turn back on unlimited oranges because these next tricks are really horrible. So remember how Warp 4 was tagged earlier? Warp on up. And go into Frantic Factory. And yeah, that door is completely transparent. You can literally walk through it. Okay, as you can see here, we can't do the thing where we go to the right of the B locker because this big pillar's in the way. This is a very inconsistent trick once again. Let me do that again. Basically, walk toward him until you activate the text. You want to don't really get any closer from here. See up. Turn your camera over here and throw 4 oranges. And immediately jump and then walk toward B locker. And basically you want to pray that you got close enough there that you actually can reach in with Lanky. So once again, throw 4 oranges, jump, run toward V-Locker. And there you go. Alright, I will show off the orangeless way. Basically, if you run out of oranges, which is a very good chance, all you can do really is go... Well, notice how the text activates. If you long jump at about this line right here before the text activates, that will give you a chance to get close enough. However, it's not very consistent. You just kind of have to hope and pray. Many of my runs have resorted to doing this. Oops, that was bad. So yeah, as you can see, this way is not consistent at all. Which is why oranges are a lot better. So anyway, I do want to show off the oranges one more time. If the text doesn't spawn, you want to stand like right about here, a little bit in front of that line. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump. Walk toward V-Locker. Alright, next part. Okay, so what you want to do, you can get a cutscene skip if you do a frame perfect long jump. If you hold down left, I'll try to get it here. Oh, I missed it. So if you long jump right at that point, at the angle I'm looking at, you can skip this cutscene here, because this cutscene will activate on top of it. Nope, I can't get it. Well, there was a cutscene there. If you're low on oranges, you can always grab oranges around the room right here. Kill these guys with oranges, or if you're low on oranges, you can do a charge up attack. This also kills them, but it's a little slower. But anyway, what I like to do for this next orange clip, this will clip us out of bounds. I usually don't like those ammo boxes in the way, but that's personal preference. So if you can see this black line on the wall right here, where the camera lens is pointing at, you kind of want to get Lanky's left foot slightly on it, kind of like that. And once he's on it, spin around, take out your camera. And you can kind of see where I'm aiming right now. There's like a pattern on the table thing, I guess, right there. Kind of look out where the pattern is on the camera lens. Once you kind of get it where I'm looking right now, turn it off and throw oranges like you did for early Aztec. That was probably a little too fast. I guess you don't want to throw them as fast as the Aztec early glitch. But again, this is another very inconsistent trick. Alright, if these guys end up spawning, the oranges move. The oranges home in on enemies, so if these guys spawn, you can't really do the trick because the oranges will home in them instead of where you need them to go. So let me try to do this a bit faster here. So yeah, left foot, pretty close to it. Aim about here. And of course I'm not getting this trick during a tutorial. Dude, Lanky, what are you doing, man? There you go. Okay, so maybe a little bit more left than where I was aiming. So once I'm out of bounds here, you're going to want to have Lanky turn 180, essentially. And if I see up here, you can kind of see you have 3 tag barrels. You kind of want to aim slightly to the left of this bottom tag barrel right there. So you're going to want to be holding R throughout this entire sequence and just long jump. Okay, you saw Lanky disappear and reappear for a moment. That signified that you entered a new area. So if you look up, you can kind of see this pole, or the pole you climb. At the bottom of this pole is Tiny's Kasplat, which links to the Chunky Freed room. That's the room we're going to be going to next. So if you want to get into that room, kind of you want to aim at slightly at the pipe. If you're feeling risky, aim slightly to the right. So let's just long jump that way and see what happens. Well, I had one slice left. Alright, so once again, on up Lanky's foot, aim over here. And you just kind of hope that you get in. Unfortunately, Lanky is not. I don't even understand. Lanky, why do you have to ruin everything? Basically, a lot of DK64 tricks are pretty inconsistent. Mainly because the lag-based tricks in this game are kind of based on how much lag you're getting at that time, and it's different every time, so it can be... You can get some pretty good luck or some pretty bad luck. I'm getting some pretty terrible luck right here. I have no idea why. I don't even understand anymore. I'm gonna wait for these guys to respawn. See, if other people are getting it, fine, and it's... I've done my purpose, but he's being rather difficult. I don't even understand, dude. I'm definitely doing it right. This clip is definitely not this bad, I promise you that. This is something you can get pretty much every time if you have good luck. There we go, Jesus. Now I'm not gonna have enough health, but anyway, let's... Sometimes the camera despawns on you like that, so you just kind of have to turn around blind and then make sure your camera's facing the correct way and then walk toward the correct way until you get your camera back, and then you can kind of line yourself again once that thing appears. Oh my god, Lanky, you are so bad right now. Alright, Lanky, this is your last chance. Prove yourself. Okay, that's how quick you're supposed to get it. Alright, once again, look up. See, I'm a little bit far to the right. If you're too far to the right, you're gonna fall in... Well, let me go to Chunky's room. You don't want to be too far to the right of this thing, so I'm gonna realign myself. And kind of go this way. And now we're in Chunky's room. If you're too far to the right of that like little pole area, you'll end up falling into this room. And because Lanky isn't Chunky, he can't primate punch his way out, so you're stuck in that room and you have to exit the level and try again. Anyway, this next part, we have to free Chunky. Backflip onto here. Or, that made a lot of sense. Since I don't have a rank stand right now, we need to use some well-timed jumps to climb this pipe. Basically, we need to hug the wall and jump at specific intervals so we can just climb the pipe without falling down. So let's see if we can do that. So backflip, hold kind of up left. Right when you see Lanky's falling animation, jump again and you can get up the pipe. If you want to skip, want to get a little bit of more movement out of Lanky here, Simian Slam off the switch, then run on it. It'll activate the switch anyway, then run off the pipe. So just like this. So he'll fall to the ground, and that saves some time for movement. Right. Fix your camera angle, long jump over here. You don't need that golden banana. Come to this corner, backflip, backflip, jump, backflip. And then we need to buy upgrades. So come over here. I'm gonna visit the lovely Candy Kong. Mash B to get through her text. And then hold A to get the upgrade. You don't need to mash A, you just need to hold A and you'll automatically buy the upgrade. Then mash B to get through this text. We're not buying this next upgrade, so just hold B so you turn it down. That's all we need for Lanky as far as upgrades. So jump in here. Hold right, tag Chunky, and we're gonna buy some upgrades for him. Once again, mash B through the text, hold A for the upgrades. You do this for every upgrade you get in the game. Smash B. Mash B. Mash B. So I just bought Hunky Chunky Primate Punch, and now I'm buying Super Simian Slam. The only reason we need to buy Super Simian Slam is so that Tiny has access to her final move, which is Monkey Port. That is essential to go to Helmet Lee. Alright, tag Tiny, and do the same thing. We're buying 3 moves. After you clip out with Lanky, you wanna... Generally, you'll get the same camera angle every time. Sometimes you won't. But if you get the camera angle after you clip out with Lanky, if you're facing the room you just clipped out of, you want to crouch, hold down, flip your camera, and then just travel that way. So essentially the opposite way of where the room you clipped out of was. So these 3 upgrades, well, they're not really needed. Monkey Port is the one we really need. Oh, and I guess Mini Monkey too. But anyway, once you buy those 3 upgrades, we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna go fight Mad Jack. Tiny's ZB kick is her fastest movement besides long jumping. So that's the recommended movement. Okay, so here we're going to be doing another ledge clip. We won't get a nice angle though, so instead what I like to do is have Tiny face outwards toward the stairs and just kind of inch your way forward again. And you should be able to fall out of bounds just like that. Let me do it again. So I don't know if this is out of bounds. Yeah, that's not out of bounds at all. That's not out of bounds. That's out of bounds. So you should be able to just hold straight toward the stairs and get out of bounds. So what you want to do now, run this way. Make sure you don't run too far backwards, or otherwise you'll void out and get word at the beginning of the level. You want to make sure you walk underneath. Well, you don't want to walk underneath the door. The loading zone is just behind the door, so under there. Alright, you want to pause exit level, because you have to watch really long cutscene otherwise, and if you enter again, the game assumes you watched that cutscene. So, exit, and then come do the sledge clip again. If you're really bad at the sledge clip, though, you can just watch the cutscene. It's about a 45-second cutscene, though, so it's a lot faster to just exit out and then do this clip again, which is what I did just there. So once again, make sure you aren't going too far back. Right, here's Mad Jack. The key to Mad Jack is make sure you are not on the space he's going to jump to next. First 3 phases are pretty easy because of that. Okay, so for the first phase, I move in a very specific way so that he always ends up in the corner. So basically, if you're on this like a space that's far away from him, or if you go on the space that he's on currently for the first 3 phases of this fight only, he will do fast jumps all the time. You want to make sure he's doing fast jumps, because if you're on the space he's going to next, he will do a slow jump, and that significantly slows down the boss fight. And once he's done jumping, we're going to get to a part where switches spawn. You want to make sure you hit the colors, the switch color that basically, you can have the camera in 2 different ways for this part. I personally like having the camera away from Mad Jack because it helps reduce lag, and it's just the way I prefer to play. But most people play where they have the camera on Mad Jack at all times. So I'm gonna actually fight Mad Jack that way. So there's Mad Jack right there. And here's the switch. Actually, I'm not gonna fight with the camera facing because it's really hard for me. The fireballs are really scary and seem hard to avoid, but they're actually not. As you can see, I was in like the area of the space Mad Jack was on, so he did a fast jump anyway. Okay, there it is right there. Basically, to avoid the fireballs at all times, just don't move away from him at a straight line, and he will never hit you with a fireball. That's if you're using the free cam like I am right now. You can see me kick sliding off the ledge and jumping out of it. I personally prefer that because it makes me move faster and it gives a bit more control. It's a bit wonky though. You can just simply do the patterns I'm doing just by jumping off the ledge and jumping like this. So as you can see there, I wasn't moving in a straight line away from him, and I was still able to avoid that fireball. Okay, so let's pause it for a minute. Those were the first 3 phases. It's generally you have to do the same thing. The 4th and 5th phases are different though. If you're on the space that he is currently on, he won't like move in a circle to get you. He'll keep jumping on that space until you move. So you cannot, you have to make sure you're constantly moving. I was moving in like a circle pattern for the first 3 phases. Yeah, looking down reduces lag, by the way. So yeah, anyway, moving in a circle pattern is probably the best for the first 3 phases, but for this phase you kind of want to move in a zigzag Z pattern. And you're going to be seeing what I mean in just a sec here. You also need to remember what space he's on right now. So he is currently on the space right to the left of me. So what I need to do now from the point I'm at right now, I need to jump diagonally to the blue switch, upper left. Then once he does that, he'll probably jump to the white switch to the right of the blue switch I'm about to jump to. So I want to jump down and then continue that zigzag pattern until he ends in this. Until that jumping phase ends. Okay, let's try it. So just move in a zigzag pattern here. So now it's stopped. This phase is slightly different. He will begin to shoot fireballs at you. Or not sorry, lasers at you. And if the laser hits the platform, it ignites the whole platform, and no matter where you are on the platform, you will get knocked off. So you do not want to get hit by this. These are probably easier to avoid than fireballs, though, because it's pretty easy to avoid these because they move generally pretty slow. And even if he's gonna fire the laser on the space that you're on and the switch is on that same space, you can generally ground pound a lot faster than the laser can get there. So just watch as the laser spawns here. I'm gonna purposely wait for the laser to fire here, and you'll see how much time we get. So yeah, even I waited for so long there, and even though the laser like animation showed, I was still able to ground pound the switch. So once again, zigzag pattern here. Sometimes he moves a little fast, so you won't be able to get the zigzag pattern off. And sometimes he disobeys his rules too, so I was unable to. Oh, there it is. So you can be safe if you want like that. What do you do on the first three pages? Just keep him in a corner, and whenever he's about to jump on the same space or the space before you, just move into that space that he's on before you, and he'll do a fast jump. Okay, after Mad Jack is done, just jump to the key. If you grab the key in midair, it saves a lot of time. Once you're out of the Trophenscough portal, exit the level. Okay, now what you want to do, come over here. Now we're going to be leaving and going over here. Going over this way will get us to the tiny port, which is what we need to get to Hideout Helm early. So if you run off a cliff and hold Z to slide down, you won't take any damage. So that's pretty nifty. Backflip onto this kind of like ledge thing right here. And what we're going to want to do, actually, let's go over here first. We're going to want to land on that kind of slope thing right there and kind of make sure we kick ourselves up. Or not kick ourselves. Yeah, kick up. And once again, Tiny's kick move is hold Z and then B, so like that. Anyway, backflip onto this. Kind of make sure you get enough speed off of this so you make the jump. So, and before, obviously you want to kick, jump off, not jump off. So, kick, jump, ponytail twirl. Oops, that can happen. All right, so that was a little glitch. Let me go over the different scenarios first, I guess, and I'll explain them once it happens. So, kick, make sure you hold jump so you get distance. And once you take a couple steps on that slippery slope, you want to make sure you kick slide right up, and you should be able to make it on this part where you can't slide off. So this part right here, you'll slide off all the time. So you want to make sure you get up as soon as possible. So once again, kick, hold jump, ponytail twirl. Once she takes a couple steps, oops, that can happen too. Sometimes when you kick slide, she'll just like fall off. However, you can jump out of that immediately and just ponytail twirl your way back onto the ledge. So that's a good way to get out of it. Oops, that's definitely not a backflip. Kick, jump, ponytail twirl, hit the ledge, kick slide up. It's really that easy. And you want to, once you get to that slippery slope, you want to make sure you're kick sliding in like the first 2 steps. And if you wait longer than 2 steps, you'll start sliding off. So once again. And one more time for good measure. Kick, jump, ponytail twirl. And then kick slide up. Even if you land at the bottom of that slope, you can still kick slide up pretty handily. And even if you don't think you're going to make it, you can just jump out of it and ponytail twirl back up. Let me see if I can do that. There's going to be pretty much no situation where that'll happen, though. Because kick sliding takes you pretty far. Yeah, I was so early I couldn't even jump out of it there. Well, you're gonna love this tutorial then, Freezer. Alright, so yeah, I've been getting this every time, so it's pretty easy. You just want to make sure you don't, like, fall back onto that slippery slope, because I was a dummy and did it there. So one more time, I guess. Alright, once again, she got stuck in like the falling off animation, but I was still able to jump out of it and get on here anyway. Okay, so the next part is clipping into the Hideout Helm lobby. If you come up here, you can kind of see that there's like a seam up here by the slippery slope and the non-slippery slope and this wall right here. There's a bunch of lines that come together and meet. We're going to be coming up here and jumping into this wall. So jump into it. Oops. Okay, whatever. I'll just do it again. Jump. You want to keep jumping into it. Yeah, this is a very easy trick. Just gotta grind it out so you're consistent at it. Oops. Sometimes that can happen. You can't get the kick slide off, so what you can do, land on the slope, mash B, and then just jump after she does her like little kick right there, and you can make it on. So all you have to do is jump through, and then ponytail twirl toward Hideout Helm lobby. I'm going to show it off once again though, because sometimes you're going to get a very bad camera angle. Sometimes the camera angle can flip on you mid-ponytail twirl, and that is not a good thing. So usually you want to wait to hold off on the ponytail twirl until you get to the point where you can tell if the camera's going to flip or not. Just jump. You're through. Then there was a camera flip right there, so you really want to wait. Alright, for the next part, we're going to be getting into Hideout Helm itself. Basically, all you want to do is come to this corner, backflip, and you'll get out of bounds. It's that easy. The angle's a little bit picky, but once you find it, you'll get it every time. I didn't get it there. There is a setup for C-up here, but honestly, it's not really worth it. It just takes too much time. It's a lot easier to just backflip into the corner, just like that. Cool. You want to make sure you're far enough to the left so you don't run into the lava. You can actually fall back into bounds and land in the lava. That's not a good thing. So stay away from the lava. You can ponytail twirl over it at the end though. I have to go kind of fast here because I only have 10 minutes to explain. Kick up. So this slope you can't normally climb unless you have Lanky's Orang stand, but if you do kick or slide kicks with Lanky or slide kicks with Tiny, you can make it up if you jump out of them like this. This is another trick that takes a little bit to get used to, and that guy can be in the way sometime. Booyah. So yeah, the timing can be a little tricky. Just grind it out and you'll eventually get it. So yeah, kick slide, jump, and you'll get up the slope. Go over here. Take Chunky. Pull out your gun, shoot the switch. come over here, jump across the vines. Okay, this next clip is called terminal clip number 1 because there are 2 terminal clips. This one you should be able to get every time because it's, well, there's a very easy signal. So all you have to do, walk into this corner right here. I didn't get it. If you want to hold R and walk into the corner, I guess. You can see Chunky kind of shaking here. Hold right until he stops moving. No, sorry, you don't want to hold R. That's not, he wasn't going to stop moving otherwise. So yeah, come out here, do not hold R. What is going on? I'm not getting the correct setup here. Okay, there we go. I like kind of held up and right. Chunky was vibrating until I hit a certain spot and he stops. So that's where you want to see up. You want to aim, go slightly left, jump B, he'll grab that. Oh, I didn't get it. So I guess that wasn't right. Try it again. So he'll be vibrating until you hit a certain spot, so when he stops vibrating, that's when you want to see up and then pull yourself through. That should be a trick you get every time. I'm just bad. So yeah, walk towards this thing, he'll vibrate. Hold slightly up and right. He'll stop vibrating eventually. See up. Aim slightly to the left. Jump. Do his B move, and then you'll clip through. One more time. Because I'm really low on time here. Jump. Alright, cool. The reason I go all the way back because the camera doesn't reset correctly. Okay, so just walk around the room like I am. Actually, I should go back. I'm gonna do it one more time because I lost my spot. I don't want to, like, not explain anything. Alright. I was probably a little too far to the right. What is going on here? Alright, there you go. Alright, so long... Okay, I'm not going to long jump because I think it makes it too complicated. So walk around this room until you get to this part. You can see Tiny's mini monkey barrel there. What you want to do is angle yourself to the right of that, so right about here, and just walk. This is a very scary part because you can't see anything until you load into another room, or another area. Now stop. Now if you did it correctly, you'll end up by door number 3 in between the gate and, or the Hunky Punch gate and this window thing right here. Just hold forward through it. See up. And once again, you're going to end up in DK, or you're going to end up by DK's banana metal room. If you fall in bounds here, it's over. You need to reset your game. So you want to carefully walk around the outside of the room. Alright, so now once you're at this section of the room right here, you ended up over there, out of bounds, but now I'm over here. Yeah, I love you guys too. Especially Purius and Profid. Okay, so you can kind of see that radar on the screen over there. I kind of like to use that as a guide. It's in the upper left corner of the screen. Kind of in the upper left, but not really. So just walk forward from here. Make sure it's on the left side. So once you hit black, see up out, and you can see that you're underneath the Blastomatic door that opens after you turn it off. Backflip into bounds, or backflip in bounds here. This is a pretty easy game to learn. A lot of the tricks are pretty easy. It doesn't take that long to learn. So this is the second terminal clip. This is kind of a cool one. I'm gonna do Ring Rush's way because Ring Rush has the best way to do this one. So kind of have this camera angle face to the right here. Jump slowly back up until Chunky falls through. There's a pixel thick ledge you can fall through right there. Sometimes he won't make it to the out of bounds area like that. There you go. It's easy as pie. I kind of said it wrong, Ms. Zaggle. I meant you need to buy to get Tiny Port. I didn't mean you didn't need it, period. Alright, so yeah, you walk slower, you can have a better chance of getting through. So yeah, just like that. And sometimes if you go too far into the terminal, you can end up like not clipping through the wall at all. So there we go. And again, I was too far into the terminal, so I couldn't clip through the wall. Alright, one more time. Start on the terminal, not like I was doing earlier. Don't do that. Start on the terminal, not off of it. As you can see, it's a lot easier to find the spot if you start on the terminal. If you wait too long before moving, though, you'll just clip into the terminal, not the wall instead, as you saw there. There you go. So now what you want to do is angle up and right. That'll get you underneath these stairs, but still underneath the walkway over here. So what you want to keep following this forward. The stairs go left there, but just keep going forward anyway. You'll end up in this area. You want to backflip, or walk over here, backflip up. And there's a thing called fake key. If you grab the key, sometimes the key won't load in your inventory correctly, so you need to grab it in a very specific way. And if you always want to avoid fake key, if you angle your camera so it faces the window and the door right there, you will never get fake key. So just like that. And then right after you grab it, you can reset it. Like immediately.
Okay.
And if you did it correctly, you should be able to have fake key, or not fake key, the 8th key at this point. You don't need to turn off story or turn on story skip anymore. All right, go to warp 1 because we tagged warp 1 earlier. Roll down here, and there you go. There's key 8. Make sure you stay down here for key 3. I've only ever gotten fake key once, and it was when I was a newbie learning. I've gotten fake key like way less than everyone else. So yeah, once you turn in keys 8 and 3, take warp 1, take warp 3. And boom, final boss room is here. And just roll right in. The final boss room spawns only when you have keys 3 and 8. None of the other keys are needed because this game has great programming. My PV is on Twitch, but it's broken. I should probably record it so they fix it. Like, I'm pretty sure the only part of that Twitch VOD that works is like after a Mad Jack. It's really stupid. If you got fake key, the run is essentially done. You would have to do Hideout Helm all over again. Alright, so before I begin this, there are methods to beating this, or all the phases faster than you normally would. For this first section, these waves cause a ton of lag, so what I like to do is angle the camera away from K. Rool and jump on the corner posts so that you can avoid the waves without jumping. So the camera's defaulted to face K. Rool at all times, so what you want to do is hit R and spin the camera away with the C buttons. So let's do that right away. So R, spin the camera away, and jump on the post. So once you see the third wave, jump up, and you'll jump into the barrel early. And if you get that, you can fire right away. Jump, air attack on the post. Make sure you do DK's aerial attack onto the post, because otherwise sometimes if you don't do that, he might miss the barrel. So this one's 3 punches, fire right away. Jump, jump B, climb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So why can you skip Rocket Barrel that's not recommended? Okay, you're gonna find out right here. Oops, I should be matching B. Alright, cartwheel around so you can avoid this. And right when he throws his first boxing glove, make sure you run into him and take damage. Okay, this is the very key part of what I was explaining earlier. You need Rocket Barrel boost for this fight, but you don't actually need to buy it. And the reason is, I'll try to do it first. Backflip here. If you land into the Rocket Barrel during that cutscene and that cutscene only, Diddy will be able to get Rocket Barrel. If you miss that barrel and you never bought Rocket Barrel boost, your run is done. It's over. You need to go, you can't beat this boss because you don't have Rocket Barrel boost. That's why it is definitely not recommended that you skip buying Rocket Barrel boost. So you miss that, it's over. And running into K. Rool to take damage so those gloves don't hit you isn't safe every time, because he can sometimes knock you into a different direction. So don't skip buying Rocket Barrel boost. Anyway, rocket up here. For this first one, I just like to shoot. Then for the last 3, you can position yourself so you can shoot through the light posts. Oh, I didn't get a thing off. But yeah, if you shoot yourself, if you position yourself in front of the light posts, you are able to shoot through the light posts and hit both of the targets at the exact same time. I did it. I missed it again. You don't want to be firing as early as I am, because you can only fire 4 shots at a time, and those other ones I missed are showing on the screen somewhere. Let's see if I can get it with this one. There you go. That's exactly what's supposed to happen with those last 2 phases. So position yourself that you can shoot through the light post, and then once you hit the one in the back, spin or turn to the left so you're able to hit the one in front at the same time. And you're able to get that phase done very quickly. Alright, for the lanky phase, stand here, kind of align yourself so you hit the switch. You need to hit the switch and pick up the barrel in one smooth motion, otherwise you're going to miss a cycle. Missing a cycle is pretty bad here. Yep, and I already did. So you would want to throw it. There. So what was supposed to happen is that I was supposed to put a trombone before K. Rool ran across that trombone pad. So I'm going to be a phase 2 for all of these, but it's still fine. You can still do roughly the same pattern anyway. It's just kind of annoying to do it now. So throw it. You want to throw these bananas in front of the music pads or on the music pads. So no matter where K. Rool is in the ring, you can play your instrument right away and he'll run towards you and slip on the music, or slip on the banana up here, which is close to or on the music pad. Oh my god. I might miss the cycle here. No, I got it. I'm throwing them quite in front though because I know where he's going to be. But if you're not certain where he's going to be, throw them right on the pad because he will never miss you if you do that. So if my cycle wasn't late, I would have been able to play my trombone there, and I would have made him slip right there. But obviously the cycle was late, so I wasn't able to do that. And you have to wait quite a bit of seconds until he gets into the correct spot. The fourth barrel, only you can't throw it on the banana pad, or the trombone pad. And again, you're going to want to review how I did that phase and which barrels I picked up and to what pad I threw them to. This next phase is quite different than the other ones as far as a casual playthrough goes. I didn't really show off much lag reduction techniques because it's a beginner's tutorial. However, for this phase only, it is pretty important you do lag reduction techniques here because you can save 30 to 40 seconds of lag. So for this phase, there's going to be a lot of lag reduction. And unfortunately, because of the lag reduction, you have to memorize the toe patterns. So turn around, jump on this post, climb on top of it, see up. This reduces a lot of lag because K. Rool is making like these huge animated waves in the middle of the room. After 3 pounds, jump off of this thing, go toward the middle. The mini monkey bear will appear, and if you're good enough, you can jump in it right away like I did there. Toward his shoe. Put your gun away immediately. Okay. You want to put your gun away immediately. You start out with your gun out. However, your gun causes a ton of lag inside the shoe. So if you put it away right away, that saves a bunch on lag alone. So this next part, I'm going to be looking down. The toes themselves also cause a lot of lag. Since I'm looking down away from the toes, you need to kind of memorize the toe order, but not really. So let's try doing that right now. So look down here, and throw oranges instead of shooting your gun. So each phase inside the toe is 5 toe wiggles long, and then you want to throw an orange after that. This next part, it's only 2 pounds, and then you can go straight there. So 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, throw an orange. 1, 3, 3, 2, 2. Fortunately, the toe patterns are the same for every time you're in the shoe, but since you're in different spots, you have to memorize 2 different ones. So wait 3 times for this one, come to the middle, jump in the barrel. You need exactly 10 hits for this fight, so 10 oranges is the perfect amount. So now around the third phase, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. This one you have to wait 4 jumps, but it's a little shorter. Sometimes K. Rool can end up right in front of the post you're standing on for this last phase. Hopefully he doesn't do that. Okay, he didn't. Sometimes he'll end up right in front of you, so you have to go around him. Oh boy. So 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Orange. 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And that's it. Alright, for the last phase of the K. Rool fight, it's pretty much as you would fight him in a normal casual playthrough. I do have a couple tricks though. So that K. Lumsy runs in a set pattern all the time. If you go to the red corner every time except the third, or the red corner to get Gorilla Gone. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna explain something. Basically, for the first phase, second phase, and fourth phase of this fight, you want to run to the red corner and get that Gorilla Gone. For the third phase, you want to go to the yellow corner. And if you do that, he will be out of your way for every phase except the last one, because you have to have him in your way at least once time. I think I'm gonna pass on doing No Levels Early tutorial today just because my voice is getting pretty tired. I might just do an 80% speedrun just as an example. In fact, I'm probably gonna do that. But anyway, back to the speedrun. Anyway, for the first, second, and fourth phase of Chunky phase, run to the red corner and get Gorilla Gone from there. For the third phase, run to the yellow corner. This only works if you haven't been hit once. If you get hit once, like when you're getting Gorilla Gone and getting into the Hunky Chunky barrel, you're not going to... He's not going to be synced up and you're going to have to change your pattern. Anyway, back to the game. For the Chunky punches, he moves slow for the first one, a little bit faster for the second one, really fast for the third one, and the fourth one he moves in a zigzag pattern. But if you run across... But if you watch like certain patterns of his shadow on the floor, you can throw a Chunky punch every time and never get hit. I got hit several times before I found out about these patterns that his shadow makes on the floor for the punches. So anyway, make sure you're watching K. Rool's shadow for this first punch. When the top of his shadow is past the eye in the center of the ring, that's when you punch for the first phase. So just watch where his shadow is. And right here. Pound. Make sure you don't get hit. Oops. Okay, now I got hit, so now his pattern is different. And now I can't backflip, apparently. So for this phase, you want to punch when the bottom of the shadow hits the eye in the center of the ring. So right there. Well, I guess the pattern didn't change that much. Alright. This next phase, punch right as he starts moving. He moves really fast in this phase, but you have a lot of leeway time. So even if you punch a little early, you still will be fine. And even if you punch really late, you still should be fine anyway. Okay, cool. Oops. What is going on? Alright. Okay, so for this last phase, he moves right, left. He moves right, left, and then uppercuts you. On the second time he moves to the left, that's when you punch. So he moves left there, moves left here, punch. And that's when the game is done. You've beaten the game. Congratulations. Once again, timing ends right as this cutscene starts. Not when the punch hits him during the cutscene, but right when that cutscene starts.